Okay. The unclean are isolated. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel to put out of the camp every leper, everyone who has involuntary discharge of semen, and whoever becomes defiled by a corpse. You shall put out both male and female. You shall put them outside the camp, so they may not defile their camps, in the midst of which I dwell. So the children of Israel did so, and sent them outside the camp. As the Lord spoke to Moses, so the children of Israel did. Confession and restitution. Again, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, saying, When a man or a woman commits one of the sins that humans commit, and actually disregards a neighbor, that soul has committed a trespass. Then he shall confess openly the sin he committed. He shall make restitution for his trespass in the capital amount, plus 1/5 of it, and repay the one he wronged. But if the man has no close relative to make restitution on his behalf for the trespass, the restitution for the wrong shall go to the Lord for the priest. In addition to the ram of atonement with which atonement is made for him, every offering that is sanctified among the children of Israel, which they bring to the Lord for the priest, shall be his. So, sanctified offerings of each man shall be his. Whatever any man gives the priest shall be his. Unfaithful wives. Moreover, the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, If any man's wife commits transgression and disregards and despises him, and someone has sexual intercourse with her, she conceals it from her husband and keeps it hidden, but she is defiled, there was no witness against her, nor was she caught, and if a spirit of jealousy comes upon him, and he becomes jealous of his wife who is defiled, or if a spirit of jealousy comes upon him, and he becomes jealous of his wife, although she is not defiled, then the man shall bring his wife to the priest. He shall bring the gift required for her, 1/10 of an ephah of barley meal. He shall pour no oil on it, and put no frankincense on it, because it is a grain offering of jealousy, an offering for remembering, for bringing sin to remembrance. Then the priest shall bring her near and set her before the Lord. The priest shall take clean running water in an earthen vessel, and take some of the dust on the floor of the tabernacle of testimony, and throw it into the water. Then the priest shall stand the woman before the Lord, uncover the woman's head, and put the sacrifice for remembering in her hands, which is the grain offering of jealousy. And the priest shall have in his hand the water of conviction that brings a curse. Then the priest shall put her under oath, and say to the woman, No man has lain with you, and if you have not committed transgression to the defiled, while under your husband's jurisdiction, be innocent from this water of conviction that brings a curse. But if you committed transgression and defiled yourself under your husband's jurisdiction, and some man other than your husband, had sexual relations with you, then the priest shall put the woman under oath by the words of the oath of this curse. And the priest shall say to the woman, The Lord make you a curse and an oath among your people. When the Lord makes your thigh rot and your belly swell, and may this water that caused this curse go into your stomach, and make your belly swell and your thigh rot. Then the woman shall say, May it be so. Then the priest shall write these curses in a book, and wipe them off into the water of conviction that brings a curse. Then he shall give the woman a drink of this water of conviction that brings a curse, and it shall enter her. Then the priest shall take the grain offering of jealousy from the woman's hand, put the sacrifice before the Lord, and bring it to the altar. And the priest shall take a handful of the sacrifice as its memorial portion, offer it on the altar, and afterward give the woman the water to drink. So it shall be, if she is defiled but kept it hidden from her husband, then the water of conviction that brings a curse will enter her, and her belly will swell, her thigh will rot, and the woman will become a curse among her people. But if the woman is not defiled but is clean, then she shall be innocent and may conceive children. This is the law of jealousy when a wife, while under her husband's jurisdiction, transgresses and defiles herself, or when the spirit of jealousy comes upon a man and he becomes jealous of his wife. Then he shall stand the woman before the Lord, and the priest shall execute all this law upon her. Then the woman shall be innocent of guilt, but that woman shall bear her guilt. Law concerning vows. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, Speak to the children of Israel, and say to them, when either a man or a woman vows an extraordinary vow to sanctify himself as one of purity to the Lord, he shall separate himself from wine and intoxicants, and shall not drink any wine and vinegar made from wine, and any vinegar made from intoxicants. Neither shall he drink anything made from grapes, nor eat fresh grapes or raisins. All the days of his separation he shall eat nothing that is produced by the grapevine from seed to skin. And all the days of his vow of purification no razor shall come upon his head, until the days are fulfilled for which he vowed to the Lord. He shall be holy. Then he shall let the locks of the hair of his head grow. All the days of his vow to the Lord he shall not go near a dead body. He shall not defile himself, even for his father or his mother, for his brother, his sister, when they die, because the vow of his God is on his head. All the days of his vow he shall be holy to the Lord. But if anyone dies very suddenly near him on the spot, the head of his vow shall be defiled, and he shall shave his head on the day of his cleansing. On the 7th day he shall shave it. Then on the 8th day he shall bring 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons to the priest to the door of the tabernacle of testimony. Then the priest shall make one a sin offering and the other a whole burnt offering, and make atonement for him, concerning which he sinned in regard to the corpse. And he shall sanctify his head that day. He shall sanctify to the Lord the days of his vow, and bring a male lamb in its first year as a trespass offering. But the former days shall be null and void, because the head of his vow was defiled. Now, this is the law of vowing. When the days of his vow are unfulfilled, he shall be brought to the doors of the tabernacle of testimony. Then he shall offer his gift to the Lord, 1 male lamb in its first year without blemish as a whole burnt offering, 1 ewe lamb in its first year without blemish as a sin offering, 1 ram without blemish as a peace offering, a basket of unleavened bread of fine flour prepared with oil, and unleavened cakes mixed with oil, and their grain offering with their drink offering. Then the priest shall bring these things before the Lord and offer his sin offering and his whole burnt offering. And he shall offer the ram as a sacrifice of peace offering to the Lord, with a basket of unleavened bread. The priest shall also offer his grain offering and his drink offering. Then the one vowing shall shave the head of his vow at the doors of the tabernacle of testimony, and he shall put his hair on the fire, which is under the sacrifice of the peace offering. Then the priest shall take the boiled shoulder of the ram, 1 unleavened loaf from the basket, and 1 unleavened cake, and put these upon the hands of the one vowing after he has shaved the head of his vow. And the priest shall bring these things as a deposit offering before the Lord. They are holy for the priest, together with the breast of the deposit offering and the thigh of the choice portion. After that, the one vowing may drink wine. This is the law of This is the law of the one vowing, who vows to the Lord his gift to the Lord concerning his vow, and the force of his vow is not limited to what he could afford regarding his vow, which he vows according to the law of purity. Notes from the previous page. 5, 2 through 4. Leprosy was a type of sin. Jesus went out of the camp and became a leper on our behalf. He himself was not a leper, for he knew no sin, but he took pity on us lepers and became a disgrace for our sakes. 5:7. Confession of wrongs to a neighbor must be accompanied by restitution. Zacchaeus went beyond this law and made restitution fourfold. Plus, he gave half his goods to the poor. Thus, he bore fruits worthy of repentance. Matthew 3:8. So Jesus said to him, "Today salvation has come to this house." Luke 19:9. 6:2. An extraordinary vow was a vow not required by the law of Moses. It was strictly voluntary. And when such a vow was made, the one making it was held accountable to fulfill it. Psalms 49:14, Ecclesiastes 5:4.